if you look at the business evolution, it happens really fast like that because of new technology. See, we talk about Jingdong, we talk about Tianmao, now the mobile internet try to challenge them already, right? They haven't even been listed yet. Now they be challenged. Do you know who are the main buyers on internet? 85 is the cutting point. People who born after 85, they live on the internet, they grew up on the internet, they do everything with the internet. Have you ever heard, the subsidy, the fight between Tencent and Alibaba on taxi? See, you can get a subsidy of 10 RMB or 15 now later on, and then they go back to 10 and then 6, right? But why they subsidize you when you take a taxi? You have to install the e-wallet or the payment system, right? And you have to get the account, be activated, and then you can get the money. As long as you get your e-wallet, that account open, then maybe you will use it later on. Maybe you put some money there, right? So pretty much they get you. Then they can later on try to do business with you. Without that electronic payment system on your smartphone, they cannot call you a customer. And if this is the trend, PC-based internet will shift to mobile internet. If you think that will be the trend, who will hold that? The customers. You think who has the advantage among all the major players? We will go back to look at the business model of each company. Who has the advantage on mobile internet? Who has the advantage? Who controls that platform? Tencent, through WeChat, right? So you use that almost every day, and you check it maybe from minute to minute. This is another number to show the significance of e-commerce in China. This is the so-called the total retail sales of consumer goods. By 2015, it will be about 10%. Now, if it is 10%, it will affect the country's economy significantly already. You see what I mean? So looks, it's still small, but this is very, very conservative estimation though. Here, this number is the mobile-based transaction. Among the total e-business transaction, the mobile versus PC-based internet shopping. PC-based is still the dominant part. Say even if you look this year, it's about still 90%. And next year, these are estimations though. Next year, keeps moving down, and the mobile part will moving up. So then the trend will be quite significant. We couldn't say it will exceed the number of PC-based, but it will play more and more important roles, right? B2C versus C2C. C2C, there's now only one business, which is C2C, which is Taobao, right? Taobao.com. It's just like eBay. It's C2C. And all the rest now are B2C. Like Jingdong is B2C. Tianmao is B2C. QQ.com, the Tencent, Shangcheng, Tencent shopping mall are all B2C. Now you see the trend. B2C will become more and more significant in the e-commerce landscape, and C2C will diminish and occupy a smaller and smaller piece of the whole business. But if you look at the total amount, it's still big. In last year's November 11, it's called Guanggui for the Singles Day, right? 1111. The overall sales of Tianmao and Taobao, you know the number? Single day sales. $350 亿 in Chinese. How big is that in English? 35 billion in one day. Can you imagine? What does that mean? Say 1 billion annual sales is, for a department store, if their annual sales reach to 1 billion, that store could be called a large department store. You see what I mean? 1 billion, 10 亿, 1 billion annual sales could be called a large department store. And Tianmao and Taobao, in one single day, they created the volume of 35 large department stores just in one day. And among 35 billion, it's about 30 billion coming from Tianmao, the B2C part, and only 5 billion from Taobao, which is the C2C part. So, which is also consistent with this trend. So one prediction is, in the future, Tianmao will become more and more dominant. Taobao will become a smaller player in the total amount of volume. And what will people buy? What you can buy, you can expect from Taobao. Only those something you don't buy frequently, and it's difficult to find. New, say unusual items, and very special items. You see what I mean? Not those products you buy in volume or as frequently. If for those products you buy frequently, very likely you want to buy from a place you trust, from a business, not from individual, right? In Taobao, it's pretty much individual to individual. Although those individual sellers could be small business, but they are not a registered business. Now more and more people shift away from Taobao to Tianmao. Tianmao, the price could be a little bit more expensive, but those sellers are real business. If those are the places you buy more frequently, because those are the trusted sellers, the so-called trusted, because they have to pay money, they have to be registered. But for C2C, those are only individual sellers. And we expect, by the year 2015, it could be half of the business will be B2C. See, if we see e-business in China, Taobao pretty much was the only one in the past. Now B2C accounts for about 45 to 50% already. The trend will continue. So who are the major players? You see, this is Tianmao, right? It occupies, this is B2C, occupies half of the whole market, 49%, 50%. And then the second player is Jingdong, JD.com, 18%. Then here, Tencent, B2C, what's the percentage here? I don't have the number. Altogether, their business, Wang Gao and Yixun, is 6%. With these two combined, it's about 25%. 1/4 goes to Jingdong now, and 50% goes to Tmall, which is Ali system, B2C business. So they occupy about 75%. All the rest fight for the 25%. So this market is pretty much dominated by 2 or 3 players. For the traditional business, there was, if I draw a curve here, can you help me explain what this means? This is scale, and this is return. With the increase of the size, after a certain point, the marginal return will become diminishing, right? This is the traditional business. What's the characteristics for platform business? Does this apply to two-sided platform? And what's the curve look? What does the curve look like? It's increasing return, right? When you are small, you are not worth much. And you grow a little bit, still not worth much. But past a certain point, then suddenly you're worth a lot. It's an increasing return. Then, see, there is a significant implication here. You want the more customers or the more customers you have, the more value you create, right? Because it's increasing return here. And what's the end? You try to grow, grow, and grow. What's the end? Is there a limit? If there's a limit, if there's no limit, you would be really happy, right? It's unlimited, it's a limitless growth. Is there a limit? The limit is the population. The limit is all the customers you could get, right? So you want to have the very last customer. You see what I mean? So then you reach the limit. You have all the customers to your platform. That's your limit. And then so get people have more kids. Then you have more customers. That's your limit. See, because the increasing return, you want to have more and more people on your platform, right? Then say for competitors, now we started to understand. For Tmall, and Jingdong, and for Tencent and Alibaba, that they fight so badly. Because they all try to get all the customers to their platform. They want to have the very last customer to their platform. So there is one saying, I guess you guys know that already if you study platform strategy. Winner takes all. Winner takes all. You want to get all the customers to your platform. Then you can maximize your return, right? So when Taobao started their business, we know there are sellers and there are buyers. My question now for you, how did Taobao make money? They didn't charge the sellers. They offered the service for free. Here, I didn't charge anything, right? I create, say, if, people write history of the world commerce, they have to mention Taobao. Otherwise, this author has not done his homework. Why? Because it's for free. In a very short time, Taobao created the largest market in the world. The largest market is no boundary, endless. You watch out. Close your eyes, imagine, it's endless. All buyers, sellers, they were talking. Communicating, negotiating about price. Bargaining. People, sellers, buyers, huge number, like a free market. No charge. All buyers and sellers. See, this is something. Guinness should, give them a record. They created the largest market ever in the human history, Taobao. But how they make money? In the early, when the size was small, when you try to purchase something, you punch in the keyword, right? I want to buy, say, iPad. I want to buy a backpack. You just punch in the keyword. Then you will see a list of sellers, right? Then you can pay Taobao to move you to the top, right? It depends on how much money you want to spend. It can be the very top. It can be page number 5. It can be page number 10. It depends on how many money you want to put. Then, so they started to offer the search business. Baidu is supposed to be the only dominant player in search business, right? Because they are the only search engine now. But actually, Taobao and Tmall, they make a lot of money by offering the search engine value. From Zeng Ming, actually we just did it last week. He told me actually last year, they made more money than Baidu. Can you imagine? Ali, Taobao plus Tmall altogether, they made more money just out of searching service, made more money than Baidu. And for Baidu, this is their main income. So their core business supposedly make money by charge the transaction, right? It's for free. But they make money from their non-core business, but even the non-core business now become the core, worth a lot of money. So this is how they started to make money. So this is the old Taobao business. Then let's see what happened next. A lot of buyers, right here, a lot of buyers. Because of it's free, it grew really fast, right? A lot of buyers. You think were the business interested in those huge number of buyers? The business, I mean, the business sellers, not C2C. Here is C2C, right? Here is C, and here is C. You think for B, business sellers, here I call it B. It's a register, it's a company. You think those sellers were interested in these buyers on Taobao? Okay, if you are interested, how could I do that? Okay, I just built a shopping mall in the huge market, in the center of the huge market. Imagine it. Tmall is just a shopping mall in this huge market. From the very beginning, Tmall never in the lack of customers, right? There were a lot, Tmall was born within customers, right? Because there's so many customers in Taobao, right? It was created just in the middle of Taobao. And then what did Taobao do was they try to offer some incentive to the large sellers on Taobao side and try to convince them to move their business to Tmall. So that's the first group of sellers on Tmall with better credit, right? Better reputation. Would you buy with a little bit more expensive price? Okay, people actually started to buy stuff from them. And actually, it didn't really take that long. Then this business became very, very popular. You think Tmall would charge something there? Okay, they charge a fee. Now, say they couldn't charge a fee here, now they charge a fee here. I have my own description of this way of profitability. It's like 雁过拔毛. So I will just stick a little letter of a bird if you fly over my territory. 雁过拔毛. Okay, in the past, they couldn't charge a penny here. Now they could charge a significant percentage. Usually it's below 10%. So is this good? They solved this, right? They were not happy. But the result is they got a huge market there. But they didn't really make money from the transaction. Now they could make money from the transaction. Okay, this is number one. Number two. So this solved, right? Number two. This is business. What does it mean by business? You are a company. You do business. Paying tax is your liability. You're supposed to pay tax. Now, it's not my problem anymore. See? Very smart move, right? If for C2C business, I still have to, say, even though I don't have to pay it, it's your business, right? I just offer a market, but I'm liable because, I need to work with the government agency. If they charge 5%, a lot of sellers could close their store, right? Now, it's really a serious threat. Now, because I moved to Tmall, it's a B2C business, so tax problem solved. Wasn't that smart? It's not simply a transaction from C2C, C2C to B2C. It also solved the problem, the threat of tax. For Tmall, Ali would never be worried about tax issue anymore because now it's business, it's company. The sellers, you have to pay tax. You see what I mean? You have to pay tax now. Here, The C2C, even it's a small business, it's not a registered company. You don't have to pay tax. But here, all the sellers are business. You have to pay tax. See, very, very smart move. Even now, the government crashed the Taobao system, see, because of the tax system, all the buyers close their store. It would not kill Alibaba's e-business because the customers were still there. They would move to Tmall. See, this is a very smart move. You would not see significant differentiation in terms of products. You can buy the products from Tmall. You can buy the same products from Jingdong. The differentiation on products would be not a sustainable advantage, right? Everybody could offer the same products. Do you think the price could be a differentiator? Price will converge as well. You see what I mean? So pretty much, the products will be the same, and the price will be the same. And how could you create a differentiation for your business? Even for e-commerce, the real differentiation will be logistics, the shipping and handling service. Jingdong has the best logistics service in China. In Shanghai, they could deliver 3 times a day. If you order now, you could get your product before it gets dark. I think they can deliver within 2 or 3 hours. Okay, so Jingdong has advantage with the logistics. So this will be the challenge for Tmall. Let's spend a little bit time on Jingdong. So now it's called JD. JD is created by a student of ours and a classmate of Liu Qiangdong. Liu Qiangdong, the founder of JD, Jingdong, used to be called 360buy.com. I wrote a case about this company. Liu Qiangdong was our student. I taught him, I taught a lot of their senior managers. Okay, they sent to our Beijing campus. Jingdong started from a B2C business, right? B2C. Okay, and my question is, how could they make money? Commission. So it's a retailer, say they make money selling price minus buying price. So this is their margin, right? And then minus their operating cost. This is the profit they could make. Then let's compare. Jingdong started the business. Who were their original competitors? Who did Jingdong challenge? I mentioned that at the very beginning. Suning and Gourmet, the traditional players, right? Okay, let's compare. You think their selling price is higher than Jingdong, than Gourmet and Suning? Lower, because you're online and you're a new player, right? Your selling price is lower. And you think they can get a better buying price from the suppliers like Lenovo, HP or Dell? You think they can get a better buying price? Actually, their buying price is higher. So that's how Jingdong started their business, which means their margin is lower compared to the traditional players like Gourmet and Suning, right? So there's no advantage. And how could Jingdong compete against the traditional players? One argument he said is, my operating cost is lower because I don't have the physical asset, right? I don't need to pay the property rental. I don't need to hire so many workers, selling products on the floor. I have a low operating cost. Now the question came up, how could I improve this situation, make my business more profitable? They not only reduce the buying price, another thing happens here. They also cut the operating cost. How could they cut the operating cost? Jingdong operates their own logistics. Okay, I need to run from place A to place B with a little truck, with only one item on the truck. The cost is that much already, right? I put 2 items. What's the incremental cost? 0. I add more, the cost will be lower. So this is, is a critical part. For Tmall and Taobao, they use third-party logistics. This will not happen because the more package you ship, you need to pay more, right? But for Jingdong, I operate my own logistics. The year before last year, they recruited almost close to 20,000 employees in 1 year just to offer logistics service. They started to open their platform to third-party sellers. Now they look more and more like Tmall, right? It becomes a platform. So now let's think about the difference between Jingdong and Tmall. Tmall started from platform, burned a lot of money. They started from Taobao, right? Burned a lot of money, very expensive actually. Then they become the dominant player, dominant platform. Jingdong started from a B2C, direct retailing business, right? And gradually they moved to a platform in 2 stages. The challenge for Jingdong is the growth will be slower. So this is one challenge for Jingdong. The smaller, the customer base is significantly smaller compared to Tmall and Taobao. And remember, they also have this. This is the big difference from Tmall. If you sell your products on my platform, in Jingdong platform, right? And if you put your products, your goods in my distribution center, and I offer the logistics service for you, if the third party charge you 8 RMB, I charge you 7, then what is the core business for Jingdong? It will be different. It will change. You think it's e-commerce. It's they make money from the transaction, right? Actually, gradually, after it become more and more like a platform, more and more third-party sellers will come over. I make money from the transaction. That's for sure. Just like Tmall, no difference. And of course, I can also make money from the search service, right? I help you to do promotion, no problem. And I can also make money from logistics. And especially for logistic part, it's pure profit. Because my truck has to be running on the road anyway, and I just add one more item to the truck. Think about it. It's not an incremental cost. It's 0 incremental. No cost at all. It's all profit. These 3, now 2 business plus Tencent is 3, right? It is 75 to 80% of business already. So that's pretty much the e-commerce in China. So in terms of comprehensive platform, game is over. Game is over. If Tencent and Jingdong are not combined, I would say there was a hope for Tencent. Now they combine together, game is over. Only 2 players. Only 2 players. There could not be any third party coming up. Only these 2. Because it costs a lot of money to come here. Other players like Dangdang will be still a platform, but cannot compete against with Jingdong and Taobao, Tmall at all. And Amazon.cn, Amazon China, game over. Too late, because the fight for customer is too difficult. So for comprehensive platforms, only these 2. Doing business online doesn't mean it's a cheap business. It will be a very expensive business. One way for the options for you, you can do independently, but I can say very likely you will fail, even for large brands. Why? customers would not pay a visit to your website easily. So very likely the option for you is you have to open your stores on Tianmao, on Jingdong, okay? You have to open your stores there. Why? Because customers are there. That's about it. Thank you, guys.